Hey everyone, welcome to the Wan2.7 Creator Webinar. I'm Roxanne from Tongyi Lab at Alibaba Group, and I will be your host today. We are now streaming on YouTube, X, and LinkedIn, so we've got a global audience here. This session is being recorded, so don't worry if you miss anything. We will share the replay after the live stream. And if you have any questions during our live stream, feel free to drop them in the live chat. All right, so before we meet our guests, let me quickly share why we are here today and what makes this moment pretty special. So if you've been following our work, you know we are the team behind the One video generation models, and we are excited to share that two new models were released last week. The Wan 2.7 image, our latest image generation and editing model, and Wan 2.7 video, our new video model, which focused on video editing. So both models are now available on One Video and via API. But what we are seeing today is that models are not the whole story. So if you've been watching the AIGC space lately, you probably noticed that we are moving from the single prompt generation to agent-driven workflows because more creators and businesses want automation. They want to scale their creativity without waiting in long queues or retrying random outputs over and over. And that's why AI agents come in. Tools like OpenClaw and our own framework, Copal, are helping creators to build the pipelines that can set you free from the repetitive work. So instead of just telling you what the models can do, we wanted to show you what creators are actually building with them. And today we are bringing builders and creators from our community and also our tax expert from the One team. They've spent the past few days testing and building with the new Wan 2.7 models and agents. And they will share with you their experiences and insights from these really interesting projects. All right, so now let's meet the creators. First up, Ryan, over to you. Can you give a brief introduction about yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Ryan. I'm a team from the One model. I'm I'm a developer. I'm developer of the One model. Yeah.
And the next one, let's welcome Benjamin. Hi, Benjamin.
Hi, I'm Benjamin. So I create content using AI, daily work, and also my interest to create some YouTube sharing the content called the Benji AI Playground in YouTube as well.
Thank you, Benji. David.
Hey everyone, I'm David. I've been a product engineer for almost 20 years, and I'm also the co-host of the AI Agents A to Z YouTube channel.
Thank you, David. Zachary, hello.
Hello, what's up? I'm Zach. I'm a researcher at Microsoft AI Frontiers, and I've been also working on a lot of interesting open source projects. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah, thank you, Zach. Oh, that's a fantastic speaker lineup. Okay, so all right, it's time for our first presentation. Actually, we just released the Wan 2.7 models last week. I know everyone's curious about what's new with this version. So now Ryan is going to walk us through the highlights and the key features of the models. Ryan, it's over to you.
Okay. I'm showing my screen. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I'm so excited today. So these novels. Okay. Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Ryan, and algorithm engineering at One team. I'm super excited to introduce our latest model, Wan 2.7. Yeah, and this time, our new model Wan 2.7 also brings two for the new models and one for image and one for video. First, let's look at the Wan 2.7 image. The first highlight of the image model is its real faces. A big problem with AI today is that every character looks the same. and they are generic and forgettable. And if you are making a short film or building an IP, you don't want that standard AI look. So we're changing that. And with Wan 2.7 image, you can create the unique recognizable characters. And you have total control of every micro detail. You see from the facial structure to expressions with simple command. Now we hope that your IP deserves a real face, not just an AI filter. The second highlight is robust text rendering. Now we know that getting AI to generate clean, accurate text is a huge pain. It's a classic problem for most every image generator, especially with complex scenes. And with our new model, we will solve that. It's built to handle 3,000 token prompts and support 12 different languages, including the English, Chinese, Japanese, and German. And whether you are creating infographics, professional papers, and vertical scrolls, you will get print quality text. It even handles the charts, the math formulas, and mixed languages without any issues. And plus, Wan 2.7 image changes how you tell stories. And usually, making a storyboard is very slow, and you have to generate images one by one, and struggles to keep the characters and scenes consistent. It's very frustrating. And now, with just one prompt, and our image model can create a full consistent sequence, up to 12 images in one go. And you can even use multiple reference images up to 9 to lock in the details. And check out this example. By using just one reference frame, the model generates the entire sequence and keeping the logic and the details perfectly consistent. And here's another example. And here the characters and styles are all consistent across all output images. And in our new model, we also add a really cool feature for color control. And usually, you just leave the colors to the AI and hopes for the best right. And with Wan 2.7, you can take full control of your image color, and you can either drop in specific hex code or extract the color style from any inference images. Whether you are working on product design, blending, and illustration, if color position matters in your scene, and I believe this is a game changer for you. And here's a quick look at how this works on our website. Yeah, you can start by creating a palette directly from reference image, then just type your prompt and apply your chosen color. And wait for just seconds, and you'll get an image that matches the style you want. Okay, it's that easy. Last but not least, Wan 2.7 image supports interactive editing. And we believe that editing should be as simple as pointing and describing. Now, you don't need to any complicated tools, and just select any part of your image and tell the model what you want to change, and the model will handle the rest. And for example, in the right, we can see that here we replace the ice cube in her mouth with a yellow fruit from another image. All we have to do is select the eyes and select the fruit and tell the model to replace it. Then we get the edited image. Here we also have a quick video demo to show how we can use interactive editing in our website. Then we choose the mouse. Then we choose a region. And we place the mouse at this region. Yeah. We have gathered the got the final image now. And now let's move on another part. It is also very exciting part, Wan 2.7 video. And our new slogan for one video is simple, don't regenerate, just edit. And we all know that the biggest pain point in AI video generation is that if you are not happy with the result, you usually have to restart over and generate it all again. It's very, very, very time consuming. And now with our new model Wan 2.7, we're changing the creation pipeline. We moved beyond just generating to building a full creative pipeline. Whether you need to edit, reproduce the content, reshape the video, extend the video content, or use reference images for video generation, all these functions are built in. So our model is more controllable. First up is our video editing capability. And in the past, if you wanted to change even a very, very small element in your video, you had to regenerate it, regenerate the entire video clip from scratch. And now with Wan 2.7, you can make localized adjustments with just simple language commands, and just tell the model what to change, and it updates the specific area, blending the new contents with the lines and the textures of your original video. And for example, the left is the original video clip. Yeah, here we want ask the model to add a worm to the bird brick and have it feed another bird. And it's that easy. You can see the result here. Yeah, the edited video looks very perfect. And take another example, and you can remove unwanted elements from your videos. It's like a function in Photoshop, but not in images, just for videos. And in this clip, we simply ask the model to remove the train. And then it took out the entire train while keeping the woman, her movements, and background perfectly stable. And you can see. Okay, and we can also use reference images to guide the editing process and giving users more control over the final look. And in this example, we want to change the outfit in the video.
The sea doesn't forgive hesitation!
And this original video, then we upload the reference image of the clothing, and we want to replace this handsome human with this clothing. Okay.
The sea doesn't forgive hesitation.
And we found that the model will apply this clothing, both the style and the content, to the character in the video. Okay. And beyond just editing specific objects, the Wan 2.7 video is also good at larger, more general changes like altering the environment. And you can look at this clip, this original video. Then we tell the model we want to change the season to late autumn and landscape. Oh, is that cool? It also supports restyle your entire video, and whether you want to transform your video clip into a unique artistic direction like this low poly game style here, and our model can handle it perfectly. And this is the original video. This is the restyled video. Get the characters and the movements and the background, every element looks very consistent just instead of the style. And another great aspect of Wan 2.7's editing function is that it goes beyond just modifying the visual elements. And it also allows you to reshoot your video in new ways, and you can change the script, the movement, the action, or even the camera angle instantly while keeping your characters and setting very intact. And this example shows how we adjust the spoken lines for the character.
The case was cold, colder than a fish in winter.
Yeah, please remember what this fox talked. And then we change his spoken line.
The truth will always come to light.
Yeah, we can observe that the model updates a lip sync and a performance while preserving the original voice of this fox. And this page showcases how the model adjusts the motion, the movement. It allows users to redefine the movement of your subjects within the same scene. Then we want this animal run towards the camera, so we add an additional movement. Okay, and in addition to the motion, a dialogue, and our new model also gives you a good control of the cinematic parameters like camera focus. And for instance, here we can simply command the model to shift the lens focus. As you can see, this on the crab itself. Then after our prompt, some photos of the crab into the shipping containers in the background. In this page, and we introduce another exciting feature of Wan2.7 video, and its ability to clone elements directly from a reference video. If you've seen a very wonderful camera movement, an action sequence, or an interesting visual style log, you can simply replace it. For example, and here we took the visual effects from this video. Because this visual effect is very cool, and we want copy this visual effects to this reference image, to this woman. Then we have edited video. We replace this beautiful woman in a new evening gala setting, and with the visual effect we want. And this page we show that how to replicate the movements, and we took the gestures from the video on the left. Remember the gestures here? We want to apply this movement to this woman, and we upload the reference image of this woman. Then we get the edited video. She has very identical gestures. And the video continuation is another new interesting function for our new model. And with our model, your story doesn't have to end at just a few seconds. It continues the actions, shift the perspectives, and even adjust the pacing to give you even more precision. And we can also use a last frame reference for video continuation. And by providing a target frame, you can guide the model where the video should go. And this is the original video. Then we want to extend this video, and we want to use this reference image as a last frame to constrain the video continuation. The story in this video takes much longer. And building on what we started with our last model Wan2.6, and we've taken character customization to a new level in our new model 1.2.7, and the core of this upgrade is ultimate consistency. And now you can manage up to 5 subjects at once. Just upload their image, video, or audio reference to lock in their identity. And look at this scene. And we will brought all elements in the left reference images to the right video.
今天的阳光真好，
真好听，能不能再唱一遍？
And you can see that how the man from our reference image sits on the chair and plays the guitar. Then the woman walked by and carry the flowers.
今天的阳
Okay. Also, our model can simplify the directing process with storyboard control. And you can now upload a full multi-panel storyboard to control the overall narratives in the video.
Would you marry me?
I do.
You can find every image in this video. Okay, beyond these new features, we will also continually improve the general capabilities of our video model. First, it enables smarter plot development with more natural transitions between multiple slots. Second, it allows for a higher level of ultimate style control.
The horizon is a button waiting to be pressed.
Then press it and let the gravity flip.
Look at the sky below us.
There's so many styles in this version. And third, it brings the real sound, real emotion to the table and delivering the audios that truly breathe and voices that feels human.
Thank you.
It's so romantic. And last but not least, our model achieves the cinematic flow stable motion. And after walking through all these exciting updates, I'm sure you are eager to see how you can experience 1.2.7 for yourself. And we'll make it simple to get started. You can just head over to our online portal, Wan2.video, to try, or you can, if you are looking to building this into your own workflow, and you can access the model API via the Alibaba Cloud Model Studio. And we can't wait to see what you create with our new model 1.2.7. And thanks for your listening.
Oh, thank you, Ryan. I think the team's really bringing something cool and really useful for the creators. Like personally, I love the color control in the image model and also the video editing features. So now we know what the models can do. And now I think let's see how creators are actually using them. Well, first up, we've got Benjamin Lau. Benji has been exploring how to use OpenClaw to build a 1.2.7 API client. That's a very popular topic in the community. So Benji, tell us what you're building.
Okay. Yeah, I have used Wan AI videos for quite a while, and 2.7, thank you, Alibaba's team invite me to try this out this few weeks, and I come out that the AI video and the AI image, actually, I pretty impressed with the image model. because in my work, I am using a lot of image generation for e-commerce for my clients. So therefore, I have tried out with the API integrations, and through that, with the Alibaba Model Studio, I have used all of the Wan 2.7 image models features, and as well as the video API integrations, and putting together as a script that not only OpenClaw can use, but other than that, we can also apply for, let's say, other AI agents such as Claude Code or in general open code to run those scripts. And before my demo, I have to state that the OpenClaw in just recent days have updated the OpenClaw are natively integrated the Wan 2.7 image and video generations API into OpenClaw right now. So, but I have checked out their documentations that just some of the features included in there at this moment in the documentation. So I guess they will be keep updating. But before their update, I have created the script by myself already. So here's some progress that I screen captured throughout my creations. Actually, it's pretty easy nowadays using agentic coding, and even you don't have any knowledge or familiar with coding, decoding agents can help you to create such things. So I have passed the mission to my agents and passed the URL to let the agents understand that what Alibaba's API is, the features that I want included into my script. And then through that, the progress thinking and doing some reasoning, also with some tool calling, because we need to get some data from the documentation page. And after that, it has finally generated, and I like the point form reporting from the AI agents. So they have listed all the URL endpoint, the features that have been integrated, as well as some parameters, such as we need the image dimensions, landscape or portrait, we need that as well. And throughout all this, I have tested, able to run, of course. And I have, just by this afternoon, I have published this project into GitHub. I will share the link later to Alibaba's team. Maybe they can share with you guys to try that out as well. So first of all, in here, the OpenClaw UI is just a chatbot here. Really basic things that you see that whatever that task is finished, it will pass you the successful message, either where it is going to save the files, etc. And before that, I have created a list of formatted text prompts. So whenever I need to use that for generating e-commerce product, or I need to use those images to generate videos for my clients, their Shopify store demo, or just in general other online shop demo, I can do that as well. So basically in here, what I would do when I start a new sections, will be asking that remember these skills within this project, because this is not in workspace. Sometimes I will move it around this web Wan API clients to my other folder. So I put that in the skills.md files within here. So it remembers what the task is, just a recap for the AI agents. Then I will go through that. Let's say I am going to batch doing the image editing for one of my image that I'm going to generate. So I am going to have the image path for my image, and also as well as where to save this image as well. So I'm going to save that in the same file path. You can put that somewhere else. That is your choice, but that is just my format of how it is going to run. So I just press enter and it will help me automatically run this. Like just Ryan said that Wan2.7 is really easy for the text prompts, especially for image editing and video editing. All we need to do is specifically what objects you are going to edit, and for example, the positions, the angles of the camera. All you need to describe is this, very simple. So in the meantime here, I have some examples that I have been generated before. As you can see that this was the original image, and I have multiple angles of this character, simulating a e-commerce fashion store that you will have kind of a lifestyle image as well as video as well, with the Wan2.7 video generation. So let's check it out, the video as well here. Yeah, so that is how the whole process of video generations and as well as image generations for like a batch of product that I need to work on it within one day. And yeah, that is so far that how convenient it is nowadays using AI agents to create tools for us to work on some productivities and things that in daily tasks. So thank you.
Thanks, Benji. I think it's a very detailed and structured walkthrough of like how everyone can build workflows for themselves with OpenClaw and Wan2.7. Now that we know how to automate a visual generation workflow, I think it's time to look at something else that is also quite interesting. David, I know you've tried something new with Wan2.7, like creating viral videos. So what are you going to share with us today?
Sure. So I'm going to share, if you've been scrolling through X or TikTok, you probably saw these viral. One can build such a thing using an A10. And then I'm going to first break it down, the concept of how to build this, and then I'm going to show you the exact workflow, how that works. So if you are like me, you probably, so if you are like me, you probably like want to make sure that once you are spending your tokens or credits, it doesn't get wasted. So making sure that the quality of the generated video or image is perfect. And we want to make sure in these workflows that it is directed from the art perspective as well. This is why when we are working with video creation, if we imagine the final video we extract some of the keyframes that we want to create, and then we generate the videos in between those keyframes. In this case, we are going to work with an initial image, a midway image, and a complete image. And then we are going to create 3 video segments from these, one between the initial and the midway, and the second one between the midway and the final one. And we are going to create a showcase video at the end. So you can see that we take the first image, that like the final visual, what we imagined, and we generate a prompt for it, and we are rendering the image. And once we approved it, then we use this like complete state of the video, and we task the LLM to generate a new prompt for like this wore down, muddy, this initial image that we are going to start from. And then once we have that, we are using that to create the midway image. And we are using these images to create the videos. So you can see that between the first initial image and the midway image, it creates all the scene, the whole scene for you. Same for between the midway and the complete image. And then we use the last frame to generate some showcase just to show how the scene, what you generated, looks like. And then we merge it all, and we are going to arrive to the video that you already saw. So let me show you how the actual NA10 workflow works. So as an input, we describe the video, and I have this description of the renovation of this rural village where the street is muddy, houses are worn down, and it gets turned into this nice Austrian-style village. And once I submit this, it generates the final image. And you have the option to approve, or you can also edit the prompt. So this is the prompt that the large language model generated for us. So you can go ahead and do some edits, submit it, and once you are happy with the result, then you can approve it and move to the next one, which is going to be the one that is framed, that was generated for you. You can do the same human in the loop to make modifications to the image. And once you are happy with it, you move to the next phase where the mid image or the midway image is generated. And once you're happy with all of them, then the first segment between the initial image and the midway image, the first video segment is generated that you can check out. And if you're happy, you can go forward. Otherwise, you can make edits to the video prompt. Then after moving to the next one, yeah, it seems repetitive, but when you are doing art direction, I think it is important to make sure that you are happy with all the pieces. And after approving the last one, then we arrive to the final video that you can download. And basically that's it, the whole workflow. For the workflow, I have created several sub-workflows for running the generation of the images and the video and merging them together. And in the like the whole main workflow has a couple of interesting features that I would like to call out. So first of all, in the configuration, I have extracted from the Alibaba's documentation the best practices for image generation. So as a system prompt, it's all passed into the large language model. And the same for the video generation. So that is also using all the best practices. You can think about it as a agent skill. And these are passed into every single large language model calls. Like one other interesting feature inside these forms is how difficult it is to style the different parts of the form elements, but this is very N8N specific. You need to be targeting without any IDs or classes the elements inside. So that's always exciting to try to build something that has a good user experience. One more thing is that I usually extract the sub-workflow IDs into a configuration, because it is a lot easier to share it later when you edit this configure me node than it is being used here inside the sub-workflow call. So then it won't reload the input data and won't ruin your workflow. So these are just like small details that I have added to the workflow. Where you can take this further if you want, there are a couple of interesting directions where you can take this. One is you could connect it to Telegram, WhatsApp, and Slack, or any other way to interact with the workflow. Or even using webhooks, you can put it into OpenClaw if you want, and keep the different human in the loop as, let's say, as an email message. So that's a nice way to handle it if you want to take it further. And you could also completely automate it if you want, but I would not recommend it, because sometimes like the prompt is not going to give you exactly what you were hoping for, or the generated prompt. So even if the video model is perfect, it is very difficult to get what you want for the first try. I did share, or I've pushed the workflow, so it's under the gists on my GitHub, but I also share the workflow files with the Wan team. And I think that is all I had.
When you say like automation, it's not our final target. I think everything we need to innovate with agent and the video generation is that we always want higher quality. And I think it's really exciting for us to see creators putting agent workflows into some real production scenarios. As you are using different tools, different platforms, and different methods, but they all lead to some perfect outputs. So I think the next one, let's welcome Zachary. That you've been building with agent for a while. So from a developer's perspective, do you have anything to share with us?
Sorry, I was saying like I've lost something to share, but let me first present my latest cool projects that use Wan2.7 to turn Markdown into cartoon videos. So I'm Zach. I'm also a YouTuber on the side. So one of my pipe dream as a YouTuber is that I want to generate a lot of educational content, but I also want to animate this content. So for instance, if given a neural network Markdown file and teaching people about how neural network works, ideally I want, some cool cartoon character that have conversations that inspires the stories that teaches people what neural network actually works. So how did I achieve that? I used the latest Wan2.7 models, which are pretty cool. So the first model is the image model, which as Ryan has already shared, given text, you can have some given image, have some text like cat to dog, and it will changes the character. It will directly change these characters. The other is the video model. So you can also animate these images. So here, given the cat models, I can let the cat walk around. You can also see a little bit of the sound of the ocean on the in the background. But two models are like the workers, but we also want to have like a workflow that chains these workers together in order to produce something more production ready. So I was actually the creator of Pocketflow. And at a high level, it's a large language model framework that I personally find very useful, because when I was building myself and open source that, and it gets a lot of tractions over 10K stars for now. So based on the models and the framework, I built this pipeline that, given a markdown, it will plan the scenes, right, models to generate images, then you generate voices, animate the images, and finally stitch them together to generate the final educational content. So the first step is actually plan scenes here. The problem here is like Markdown is pretty boring. It teaches you about how neural networks works, but no one actually want to read that. So what I did is actually ask the large language model to plan a few cartoon scenes between two characters. I designed character Mia and Ding Ding Dog. One is a confused student, and this is a teacher, and they alternate across the scenes. So Mia starts frustrated with the homework. Ding Ding Dog shows the brain hologram, and Mia asks, how does the dog learn? The dog shows the weight dial. Mia then asks, what if it's wrong? The dog explains what backpropagation actually means, and finally, they celebrate. So given all the scenes, which are a bit high level, we need to really flesh out the details on how the image, the narration, the animation work here. So it's also a large language model prompt. It's also prompting the large language model, given the scene description, generating the dialogue, generating the image styles, and describe how to animate that. So for instance, for the scene that Mia is sitting at her desk, looking frustrated, surrounded by homework about neural networks, the dialogue will be, oh, my brain hurts. How am I supposed to understand this neural network? And then we prompt it to have an anime style image with instead of bedroom, Mia's at the desk, dogs lock up sympathetically. And then the image will be animated in a way that is slow motion, a slow zoom in on desk. Mia drops head, papers flutter, dog waddles in, bells jingling. Then we need to generate images based on for each of the scenes here. So here are some example images generated from the Wan2.7 models, which looks very, which looks pretty cool. But one thing I want to highlight is that this didn't happen by default, because one of the biggest issues when you use image model is the consistency problem here. If you just describe, help me generate a blue dog with yellow bill on a red ribbon and a girl on with a round glasses, you will kind of get all different styles of the characters. And if you change them together, the whole video will just look very, very weird. So how do we have consistency across the scenes? Actually, a bit challenging, but the idea here is actually just use references, because now the WAN models takes all the reference images. You can just give them your designed characters. And actually the character design is also generated by Wan2.7. I've tried to prompt the WAN models and tune the prompt a bit for different reference sheet. Some of the reference sheet looks a bit creepy, some looks too cartoon-like, and I choose someone in the middle, and the final reference sheet look like the one in the below. Then given the reference images, they are also early layers of consistency. So for instance, for the text images, I also keep prompting model what the character looks like in text details. Also, it's not only about character, it's also about the scene. You don't want, the previous scene is still in the bedroom, but next scene is in the classroom. So you also need to provide all the previous output of scenes to the models. So when it change the scenes, it also have this environment level consistency here. So given that we have the image ready for each of the scenes, then we generate the voices. I use the cursive voice. So Mia is a kid who sounds like this.
Ding dong. What even is a neural network? The teacher explained it for like an hour, but I still don't get it at all.
And Ding Ding Dog sounds like a teacher on tenure.
Don't worry, Xiaomei. This way, your brain has billions of tiny cells called neurons, right? A neural network is basically the same idea, but on a computer.
Ding dong.
Oops.
What even?
Sorry. Okay. So finally, given that we have all the scene description, the image, the ready, we want to animate that. We don't want it to be just like a comic book. We want it to be actually a video. So we use the latest Wan 2.7 video models to and given the prompt we generated before to animate all the scenes images together. So given the image to the left, if we prompt it to be Maya jumps out of the chair, papers flies, Ding dog hops in celebration, this will be the results. Okay, so we have all the 7 scenes, all the animated clips and all the audios together. Then we use the FFmpeg to stitch them together. And this part is actually a bit technical details that probably I will just skip here. But without first ado, I really want to show you the final result.
My brain hurts. How am I supposed to understand these neural networks for my computer science homework? It just looks like a bunch of confusing dots and lines.
Shh. Don't let the dots and lines trick you, Mia. Neural networks are actually inspired by the human brain, using interconnected nodes to process information, just like you do.
Okay, I get the brain part, but how do a bunch of glowing dots actually learn to recognize patterns from the data? It still looks like magic.
Shh. It's not magic, it's math. See these dials on the lines? They represent weights that automatically turn and adjust during training to help the network figure out exactly which paths are most important.
I'm still confused. If the network makes a mistake, how does it actually know which way to turn those dials to fix it?
Shh. It uses a trick called backpropagation.
Wow, it actually works!
Like a little helper walking backward through the network, checking mistakes step by step to tell the dials exactly how to fix the errors.
I get it now. So by repeating that backward step over and over, the network learns from its mistakes and finally makes accurate predictions. Thanks, Ding Ding Dog.
Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much. I want to, so we're using the Wan 2.7 models and Causey voice. They're all so you can also find me on different social media, including YouTube, GitHub, and X. But that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. I love the way you are combining different types of models, like the language model, voice model, image model, and even video models to build and automate the whole pipeline. And the Pocket Floor, your project is so cool. I think our audience will definitely check it out on GitHub after our live stream. All right, so it's time for our panel discussion. I'm bringing our speakers back on stage. Welcome back, everyone. So let's get started. The first question is about your building experience. When you were building your agent workflows, did you run into any problems and how did you fix it? I think we will get started with Benji. Benji, do you have anything to share with us? Like, did you run into any problems during your building with agent?
Hi, yeah. So if unexpected problems that will be, well, sometimes the AI agents are not going to follow exactly what you want to do. Sometimes it might lose the memory. But now eventually, like in this recent few months, it's getting better. All the technologies, you get better language models as well. So it helps to improve how we are using integrations for the AI agents. Especially, I have something so similar to Zach that I did that's called the Muse Studio, that it was using LangGraph to doing different video, long form videos. And I have come across that, yes, we have to, using different kinds of framework as well as models combined together is not just about image generation or video generation anymore. Yeah, so yeah, that is what I have comes up with a conclusion.
I think both the models and the tools are evolving so fast nowadays. So David, what about you?
One of the things I've noticed, or I've been noticing for a while, is creating these image and video prompts using another prompt to the LLM is very meta. So you need to like think properly how you can generate and also share all the best practices, especially if there are different models that you are working with. And the nature of the video generation is, since it's very synchronous, so it takes sometimes it's quite some time based on how the servers are, like how busy they are. It could take longer to generate a video. So while you are tuning your prompts, it takes a lot of iterations and patience to get to the point until you get good with agentic video generation. So that is something that like just practice until you figure out exactly how the model that you are working with works, and then you can take it from there.
Yes, you're right. I think it must take you a lot of time, like generating or fine-tuning and doing all the prompts. So let's now invite Zach. I think you've shared the consistency problem in your presentation. Is there anything else you find during your building?
Well, maybe because I'm mostly building educational content here, I think like video is a presentation of mostly thoughts or the content, but I think the thoughts and content behind this video generation is actually super important. Like because when I was my own experience when building working on YouTube video generation here is that the front end is fine most of the time, like as long as it's not horribly irritating, but like the content, the thoughts, how you teach people, what example you give here, what's the flow is actually super important, and that part is actually pretty non-trivial, and I requires a tons of my supervision to making sure every example is flows well, every thoughts, every dots are connected well, nothing there's no example that are too complex. All the idea, maybe it's also the ideas should be consistent, and maybe consistency is also a big part, but I think yeah, I think the idea, the source, the prompts, the content behind this video, it's something super hard that still requires a lot of human supervision, at least for me.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's the idea behind the technology that really matters nowadays when you build a pipeline. Okay, so next one, from a creator's or builder's perspective, what do you think about the trend of agent-driven AIGC? Like, do you think it will be more widely adopted by the community, and why? So David, will you share yourself first?
I think the agentic workflows for creating this content is brilliant, but I also think that it's not the final solution. So you can use these technologies to solve specific problems to speed up your process, but you can't just replace yourself and the creative decision-making processes. So it's like it's a mecha suit. It's not a drone, basically.
Yeah, you are right. I think this is exactly something Doug just talked about. Doug, can you share more on this input?
Sorry, the input of what? Sorry, I
trend is the future trend that the agentic AIGC will be adopted by more community or users.
Yeah, I think AIGC. Well, one thing I just want to say before is that I'm not. I don't create entertainment video. I don't create video for ads. So probably David, Benjamin, they have more experience than I do to say here. But I think. I think even for maybe I will say that from the perspective of more like audience, not creator. But I think like even for me as like a audience, when I was listening to ads and when I was listening to this entertainment, I still think like the plots behind this scene is, you know, as important as how the scene itself is presented. I do get in touch by this animation. I do get touched by these sound effects, but you know, it's bad to be a plot, bad to, you know, there are a lot of AI slop like all around that I hate this. And I think it's better to have some, you know, real content, some thoughts behind, and combined with this animation and the cool sound effects that touches me most.
Okay, thank you. Benji, what do you think? Because I know you've been working for like the commercial AI GC content.
Just referred by Zach, I have a true story because now recently the YouTube are, you know, trying to restrict a lot of AI content, and my channel is also affected by this, but I don't care those things because my audience, they understand what I am talking about, and you know, the visual effect of how the video is doesn't matter. They are more importantly is how my idea and my thought to put into the, you know, the AI content, what I'm trying to explain, like the workflows or the AI models that I'm trying to apply for work, and they have a brain, they can think of, oh yeah, I can use this for my work as well. I can put this in, you know, my system, right? Yeah, so that's my opinion.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's important for us to kind of get a balance between the efficiency and the creativity. So I think both are quite important nowadays. And the most important thing we are going to do right now is to keep exploring and keep innovating. And after a while, you will see how it will end in the future, maybe. So Ryan, I've got this question for you. Are there any plans or anything your team has already been doing in the roadmap of Wan to optimize, like say, specifically for the agent workflows?
Well, that's a great question. Because, you know, one of our ultimate goal is to empower everyone to create professional grade video content with the creation freedom. Yeah. And to do that, you know, we need a full toolkit. So with our new model 1.7, we will focus on building out those, you know, the essential building blocks. Yeah, things like editing, generation, and story continuation, and motion reshaping, and multi-angle control. Yeah, and now that we have this complete set of tools, and you know, maybe the next logical step is to bring them all together. Yeah, maybe in the future we are moving toward building a complete agent framework where the AI can call these tools on its own to manage the entire creative process. So I believe it is very great. So maybe stay tuned.
Ryan, thanks for sharing. I think it's never about the model itself. It's always the whole ecosystem. Okay, so I think let's come back to our creators. What's the biggest benefit you've seen from using agent in your creation workflow? And what do you think will be the biggest benefit for individual creators, studios, or businesses? Benji, can you take this one?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So talking about benefit is that the productivity, time saving, that is mostly everyone are concerned. Because think about that, like a few years before, when we don't have image or video generations model, and we take a lot of time to photographing the products, or for creators that creating movies, they might need a huge budget to create such things. And right now it is not even a limit for everyone, right? If you have ideas and you can build AI generate content that, go ahead and do it, right? So yeah, that is a big benefit, not just for business or studio right now. I think is individual, everyone can have an equal opportunity to create something.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. So, what about David? Are you seeing anything else like your benefit from the agents right now?
I do agree that like all these tools and even the agents are unlocking people to be able to prototype faster, and then also put out their ideas and try many things out. So maybe before you only had the budget to try out 1, 2, 3 different types of videos of the same theme, and now you can do 10, 15, 20 because it's cheaper and faster. And you can do it asynchronously, so you can create 20 different variations at the same time.
Yes, you're right. And Zach, what about you?
Well, I think agent tries harder than so even for my workflow, just share a bit of background. Even the workflow I built, it's built by agents. The reference sheets, it's not I prompt hard for the agents to, it's not I prompt the model directly to ask for the character design. It's I prompt Claude Code. Hey, come up with different, inputs of the test. Try hard, and I will review how the final results look like. I think like agents try very hard in the sense that it kind of it can do different prompt tuning. It can try different workflow designs. It can integrate different resources. Like even for where do I find the neural network Markdown file? The agents pull that from the internet as a cool beginning spot here. So I think agents really it really help me explore different direction, different passes, help me search through different workspace or workflow space here. Well, while I have the final control on like whether the reference sheet, the workflow, the final results were good enough. So I think agents is something. It's kind of like a vehicle that humans still need to steer that around, but it moves very very fast and help me help me become much more productive.
Yeah, you're right. I think not only the agents are lifting up the efficiency, more importantly, it just gives us more opportunities to try out more things, and you can find out more to kind of feedback to your original work. So we've talked about your expectations on the trend. So if the agent-driven AIGC will be the future, what trend in this field are you mostly excited or cautious about? And how do you think should the creators prepare for that future? David?
Yes, I think that then I'm going to reiterate one thing I shared before, that it's not an ultimate solution, so you need to understand the capabilities, and I think creators needs to in the future and like right now, they need to be able to describe what their process is, understand all the different parts, and also understand the available tools, what they can achieve, so they can just take out some of the repetitive parts from their work and use the AI agents to do those for them. Let's say researching content ideas for their videos, for example. That would be a perfect example for agents to do. And also maybe prepare assets that they can use after. But the actual choices, design choices, needs to be managed by them. So I think that's a very important skill, that they are able to identify these points that they can automate.
Yeah, thank you, David. And Benji, are you seeing anything that you're excited about or cautious about?
conscious, not really conscious, but the AI agents that I will think, yes, this year has been coming up like a big trend, right? Last year is image and video, which when video is so popular, and then right now is AI agents. But then after like 12 months, I think that will be changed a lot because like this industry going so fast. And this AI agents will be just like a tools of one of your toolkit. And you can, you got A tools, B tools, and it will be act like so easy to access something that you will just pick it up and put it into your work, and something you might not just be aware of that, oh, this is the agent. You have multiple steps, right? Something that build like so complex. It is not going to be like this later on, I think.
Yeah, you're right. And Zach, I think you are an expert in the agent. So what's your opinion?
Well, I think something to be cautious about is easier. Definitely AI slop. I think what I'm looking forward is I really think this model combined with the agent is a very good vehicle for thoughts. Maybe just reiterate my previous point here, but the thought is still the important parts. So I can share a little bit of my YouTube story here. So when I was creating, using AI, most of my videos on my YouTube, by the way, is AI generated. So I received a lot of early, comments on, oh no, it's AI generated video, but then the trend changes a bit. People are like, oh, I never thought I can watch AI generated video for so long. Why? Because I think because I pull off the efforts into the the education part, examples, the flow, etc. So the whole video actually works pretty well. I think there are really two parts for the at least for YouTube education video. One's the idea, one's the presentation. I'm not really a good presentation person, so I think I really appreciate these videos and video models, and also the agent workflow that help me solve a problem that otherwise I don't think I can compete with the rest of those YouTuber. But I do think whether someone has put enough thoughts, whether people have a good deep enough idea to begin with is super important. Maybe a little bit more in terms of the model generation and agent flow. It's better to be consistent. It's better to convey the thoughts, at least don't misinterpret them. So I'm actually very interested in the infographics Ryan shared earlier. I think that's actually like a very, because a lot of the thoughts in my mind is text-based, which is just a 1D flow. And I do think like this 2D and 3D representation of the ideas is a great future. But the cautious here is just don't misinterpret them and just convey them in a firstly correct and hopefully exciting way.
Yeah. Okay, so now let's move on to the last question. A very practical one. So if a creator wants to start building their first automated AIGC workflow, is there any advice you'd like to share with them? So David?
Yeah, my advice is they need to be very pragmatic. So specify in detail what they want to achieve and pick one tool. Doesn't really matter which tool, whichever they feel most comfortable with, and try to get enough mental model about that tool and start building. The best way to learn is to learn by doing. So that is my advice.
I love that. And Benji?
I would say search for your market first, right? Some content using AI generated, or you publish in the wrong place, it doesn't work, right? Like a lot of time people try to create some AI slop movie or music video. And recently like YouTube, they try hard to restrict those AI slop content as well. It's so concerned. But in other way, in China, we have no problem at all. It's so freedom to create things like this, right? So yeah, it is about the market and your geographics as well as your target audience first. You consider all of that, like back to the basic stuff. Think about AI and go back to the marketing research, what you want to build, right? And yeah, that is my advice.
Yeah, you're right. The first thing to do is to kind of understand your market and identify your audience. Yeah, that's a very good one. So Dark?
Yeah, I think it's almost similar to what Benjamin said before, but I think it's just start by thinking about why do I need this video? Is that a good vehicle or not? What's the alternative? Should I use image? Should I use video directly? Should I maybe start with image and animate that later? What kind of editing do you need? And so on. I think you need to put some thoughts on what is the best presentation for whatever you want to do, and have a plan on, just do enough homework on different alternatives and what's the best choices before jumping to the most expensive, the most complex solution.
Yeah, get well prepared and have a clear plan on what you're building. Yeah. Okay, perfect. I love those takeaways. All right, everyone, let me quickly recap what we covered today. So Ryan broke down the new 1.2.7 models and API. Benjamin showed us how to build a 1.2.7 API client with OpenClaw. And David demonstrated how to create viral videos with automated workflow. And Zach shared his Markdown to cartoon automation project. And we had an awesome chat about the future of agent-driven AI creation. So thank you so much to Ryan, Benjamin, David, and Zachary for sharing your time and creation. And thank you, our amazing audience, for joining us today. You can also join the conversation in our Discord channel. You can find the link in the live stream description. So whether you are a developer, a creator, or you just want to know what AI agents can do today, you are now part of this community. So let's keep learning, keep building, and keep creating. This is Roxanne, and I will see you next time.
Bye.
The landscape is shifting beneath our feet right now. But if there is one rule that never changes, it's this: never stop imagining.